listeners. My name is Dawn Hughes, and I'm the coordinator for Booktrib's book club program. I'm here today with author Michele Kwasniewski to talk about her new novel, Rising Star, which is the first book in the Rise and Fall of Danny Trueheart series. Rising Star is one of the selections available in Booktrib's book club program for March. That's always a mouthful. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your schedule to talk to us, Michele.
Oh, happy to be here. Hi, Dawn. How you doing? Hi, readers.
We are going to dive right in because we only have about 5 minutes. So I need to know, no spoilers, but what can you share about your book that we wouldn't find on the jacket cover? Something, a little insider tidbit.
So the jacket cover is just Danny, presumably in a recording booth, just belting out for all she has in her, right? She's just singing with all her heart. But what you don't see is the years of lessons, the years of sacrifice, both for her and her family, financially and time-wise, and then the army of adults pushing her forward. So one, she can achieve her dream, but let's face it, they're all waiting to cash in on her dream. And so I feel like the cover, you feel that power and that excitement because we all love to sing out loud in our car or shower, but I feel like you don't see everything that it took to get to that moment to be singing in the recording booth. So I feel like that's all that excitement is just waiting once you open the cover.
I love that. And it's so relevant to today's world too, because we're seeing that a lot. You know, I don't mean to bring Britney Spears into this, but of course she's the most common example of that, like people cashing in on her success, you know. So
and I don't think you're prepared when you're a teenager. You're still discovering who you are, and you're usually just going to school and, you know, you're in clubs and stuff. But for her, she's been pulled out of formal school because she's focusing on her career. So she doesn't get those like critical thinking lessons and all of those life lessons that you learn in high school. So she really is depending on the people around her to guide her. And, you know, much like Britney, although it's not based on Britney's life, but much like Britney, she discovers some things that it's just maybe not everyone has her best interest at heart.
That sounds like it has some built-in themes already for book club. Why do you think this makes such a good book club selection?
Well, I think it makes a great book club selection because one, everyone I think has either wanted to be famous at one point, either be an actor, you know, TikTok celebrity, or everyone has been caught like singing in the shower into their shampoo bottle at the top of their lungs or in their car. Music is such a connection on so many levels for so many people. And so I think that wherever you land in that environment, in that dream, you could want to see what it's like from the beginning, rising to the pinnacle of like Taylor Swift's success. I think that really can resonate with people. And then I've also had a lot of adults, like a lot of parents, read this book and they are shocked or, oh my God, upset just about the relationship between her and her parents, the adults who are supposed to be in place to protect her and have those guardrails for her career and for her moral, you know, upbringing and safety, because she's still growing in the spotlight. But the pressure and the money, everything kind of warps that. And it's up to Danny as she ages throughout this series. It's a really tight series. She ages 2.5 years throughout the 3 books, and see how she comes into and finds her voice. But in the beginning, in this book, she's just going from unknown teenager to pop star celebrity in like an instant.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating. I'm excited to read that. Are the other 2 books finished, ready to go? Or
so the series, The Rise and Fall of Danny Trueheart, book 1, Rising Star, book 2, Burning Bright. So you can tell her career is going great. And 3rd book, Falling Star, which again, it's not always what you think it is. So falls can mean different things for different people. But I wrote this, was inspired to write this series based on my career behind the scenes in television and film. So I saw a lot of stuff and I didn't want to write about people I'd seen necessarily. So I moved it to music, but there's a lot that people don't understand about working, even behind the scenes, the cutthroatness, the pressure to not only get in the spotlight or be successful, but you constantly have to produce to maintain your spot. There's always people coming up behind you to kind of shove you out of the spotlight. So you've always got to be on, and you can never rest on your laurels. And I think that pressure is kind of not understood by people. They just see the glam, the free stuff, the red carpet events, that kind of.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they think, even if they do have some sort of intuition that, yes, there's a lot of work that goes into it, I think they think that the money and the fame erases the trauma of that. And that's not the case at all.
I agree. And I think though too, like everyone thinks about when you're having a bad day, like your kids are snapping at you, or you had a fight with your partner, or you're running late and you're hitting a bunch of traffic and you're just like, you know, or you snap at the waiter at the restaurant. If you're a celebrity, all of that's caught on tape and they're just waiting to put that out there. And the fans, as much as they love you, a lot of fans love to see you fall too. So I think it's that kind of pressure that a lot of people don't see. And
Agreed.
it is
Yeah.
ever present. And so I think that we have to have a lot of grace for the people who choose to live in the spotlight. And some don't always choose that, because I think there's a lot more to it than just being famous and free purses and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I could talk about that with you all day, but I do have to go towards wrapping this up. But a quick question before we do. What's the best book, fiction or nonfiction, you've read in the last little while, and why?
I just finished The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig, and I am hooked now. I've never read any of his books. I now want to read everything he's ever written. The way he unfolds his story is just, it's so fresh. I love the way he writes. He's very descriptive. And when you're writing some kind of paranormal story, you really have to be accurate, because sometimes your world is a little bit different than our normal world. He
Right.
builds a beautiful picture of things that are not normal. And his character development and the way he reveals things, I feel like he's like Stephen King, but on a whole different level. Like, I love Stephen King. He's one of my go-to authors, but I feel like Chuck is just is stepping right in with Stephen King, but in a whole new way. And I love that. I can't recommend that book enough.
Oh, I love that. That's great. I love Chuck Wendig's books. He's
Oh yeah,
fabulous. Just a really strong writer. Yeah,
he is.
he's a good
He
pick.
is.
Good
Yeah.
pick. I haven't read that one yet. It's on my list, but I was
That's the first one, and now I'm going to go back and read all the other ones.
all right. Well, we're all going to go and add that to our TBRs after we read your book, of course.
Thank you so much.
So I'm going to have to wrap this up, but thank you for your time and really best of luck with this book and the series.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me, and happy reading, everyone.
Thank you. For more information about Michelle's book, please check out the book club page on the booktrib.com website.